Okay, all right. This is the third time doing the 20 rep. It's still warm up. We want to get into the consistency of it. So this week I have them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then next week I'll have them Wednesday and Friday. So it just alternates. So what we'll do is going to be 10 rounds. 3 heavy back squats, 1 run to the back of the driveway and back down. 10 times. 10 rounds. So that jog up the hill, I don't want you guys walking. I don't care if it's like a little shuffle, okay? Make it a goal to intentionally move and not walk, okay? Is everyone ready? So this group is coming from the Agape Christian Academy here out in Camas. They're a private school. Been working with them for about 2 years. Even though they are a smaller school, they do go and participate in leagues. But yeah, I wanted to go see their setup and they didn't have any, so I offered up, my time and offered an elective class a couple times a week, and then it went to 3 times a week. Sometimes I get an hour and 15 minutes with them. So this is year 2 and there's more kids that are wanting to jump in. And that's been super cool, being able to be consistent with them, showing them how to move well, how to build on their movement. They have a lot of energy and they're young. And so it really helps them kind of anchor around movement. It's been good, it's been healthy. All right. In all of this, the goal is to become someone who makes good decisions consistently. So we'll do fitness and we kind of close it out with just a conversation around real world. They have a lot of questions at their age. I had a lot of questions at my age, and they're very in tune and engaged, and they love it. So, and it's bringing us together. It's allowing them to get to know each other more. They're the next generation of leaders, and so it starts now. Thank you. Sounds good. Sounds good. Awesome. Sounds good. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's this motion is this motion as well. So bring it in. We also got our local Starbucks crew coming in, rolling in, getting some fitness in. What's cool about that is that I'm a regular at that Starbucks. Got to know the crew there. They're always super generous. They give me an extra ounce of cold brew every time I go order my cold foam cold brew. Yeah, over time, as I've gotten to know them, I don't know, I always like to extend an invitation to get some fitness in. I enjoy being able to coach people still in kind of what we do in street parking. So it's a way for me to continue to get my coaching hours in, fill in my cup, and just giving back.
Job, Maya. Job, Kayla. 2, 1. Okay, do 6. This is Firmly Planted Homeschool Resource Center. They've only been in this building for like 2 years. There's just like all sorts of classes going on. A lot of the classes are led by parents or like independent teachers for homeschool families. Yeah, it's really cool. We came here a couple years ago when it was just, the boys were very little, for a few classes, and then we're back this year. I don't know how many weeks into this class are we, do you think?
8.
Do you know that for sure?
Yes.
Oh. How do you know that?
Teacher. We're halfway done.
What kind of class do you have today, Nox?
Chess and Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels physics. I've been following the vault, but we started late. And then a couple of them I combined in session because all we have in here are the sandbags and the boxes. We're kind of limited on time because most of the ladies, they'll show up a few minutes late. Like half of them work here, and then the other half are moms that are dropping off their kids in their classes. And so we tend to start a little bit late, and then I'm supposed to be done by 10 minutes before the hour, so I have like 40 minutes. We're so quick to think of so many other things in our life as like sacred, to include our children or our homes or whatever. But then the body's kind of like this trash lunch will do, or this I'm gonna not sleep or whatever. But yeah, this community has given a lot to us and our family, and I know the people who work here, which is a lot of them, work really, really hard. They deserve some love back. So I feel like I walk around with this like brain full of knowledge that everybody needs, to know how to take care of their bodies. So to be able to provide that is super meaningful to me in a community that's given us so much. That's probably gonna take you like maybe a minute. You guys are gonna get a good rest. So try not to break it up too much during this part and try to run like at an uncomfortable pace. There's a chance that if you guys are super fit, I might increase this, but we'll see. One of the girls that's in here is a close friend of mine from our church group, and she's been wanting to come over to our house to work out, but felt a little intimidated. She felt more comfortable with the group doing that, of everybody who's kind of newer. Some of the people have done like CrossFit before, have been like members of CrossFit gyms, but I think it's only like 2 of them. And then some of them haven't worked out for a very long time or have never done some of these movements, so it's a mix for sure. What's great about the sandbags is you can like talk about it like it's a regular everyday object, like a bag of soil or a bag of flour or whatever, and they can think in their brain, oh, I mean, I do pick stuff up off the ground that is like this. And you're not super worried about people getting injured or like slamming themselves with a dumbbell or a barbell or whatever. It's very forgiving. So I think the sandbags are a great option for groups like this, especially when we're tight on time. And then you see them getting it by the end, mostly because when your body's fatigued, you start actually moving better a lot of times. We've used the box for step-ups, or some of them will use the box for like elevated push-ups. So I knew I would need something for that, but that's all we've used is just those two pieces of equipment. I want to say like probably 2 or 3 of the workouts we didn't use anything. This is when you know it's like good when nobody's talking in between. We know in street parking, like if you can get somebody to work out once, the likelihood of them working out 1 or 2 more times during the week explodes. So if we can get them consistency even with once, it's the whole point of the vault, and those are the workouts they're doing. I always send them a second workout that they can do each week. Almost always it's just no equipment. And a lot of them are doing that one too, so they're getting in 2. I think the community, the environment of them all doing it together, I mean, you could see today they were all running way harder than they would have if they were alone. I love watching people like overcome obstacles through physical exertion. Of course, they want to be healthy for their families and everything, but challenging themselves for their own good and not just sacrificing themselves for somebody else, I think is so important. And last few years, I've gotten to really test my like spiritual, emotional, mental strength, but I've been really able to lean on what I've learned through physical. And so I think teaching people to practice overcoming obstacles in a physical way applies to everything else. And so I just love being able to connect with them, help them, and give them something that's just for them. While their kids are in class and they can just focus on themselves, even if it's just for an hour, is super satisfying to me. We have been doing a lot of homeschool. So like right now I'll take Knox to Starbucks and we're gonna do his math and his reading at Starbucks, and then we come back here for some classes. Most of my days are just with them, homeschooling. On Fridays, I'm still going and doing most of the programming for the dailies. I'll sneak away on Friday and do that for a couple hours. We went skiing recently. We took them to Sun River and all of us went skiing as a family for the first time. I have skied, I grew up skiing, but I haven't been since I was like 19 probably. Fitness. Definitely haven't been since I tore my ACL or my neck or anything, so I was nervous about it. I've been nervous about trying to ski again. I think it's like one of those things that, well, it's easier to learn when you're a kid, so at least they'll have exposure to it if they want to pursue it when they're older.
We're going at a pace where it's like they're the focus today. It's more of like managing emotions, you know.
But it was awesome, and they all did so well, and it was so much fun, and Julian, it was his first time ever skiing. And he did awesome. He's just so athletic.
I picked up a new hobby, woodworking, which has been super fun. I went from 0 to 100 real quick, but I enjoy it because it's allowing me to stay on track with this next season of life, which is really anchoring around our family's identity, time with the kids. So now looking at longevity, slowing down, just allowing ourselves to be present with the boys. And even with this hobby, because I was trying to find hobbies, but it was pulling me away from the house. So then that was counter to what I wanted to do. And the boys get to see me build things, and I build things for them. And that's been awesome. It forces you to slow down. You can't rush the process. Because in woodworking, if you rush the process, you're gonna have a pretty ugly piece.
That's professional.
In building street parking, there was a lot of sacrifice of time away from our kids, even for me when they were babies. So these last few years, it's realizing how fast the time is going and realizing that we are in a position where we can spend time with them, and so why wouldn't we, you know? It's the most wonderful thing ever. So yeah, we've just been enjoying our home and our kids and each other.
Things I'm looking forward to for this next season of street parking is like seeing the consistency in our values as a brand start to really take shape and form with our members. We're going 10 years into things. I'm looking forward for members finding an inner peace with the seasons and the acceptance to the seasons that they're in, and recognizing that the foundational values that street parking were born from, it's like, hey, let it be an anchor, let it be a tool to aid you in the other things that you have in life.
I'm always excited for Project April, always. I think I'm gonna do the kettlebells again. All of us in the community love when it starts to get warmer and we can go outside, we can open the garage and we can take our dumbbells and stuff out in the sunshine. Yeah, I'm super pumped for Project April.